Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and this is episode 327 of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call it Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is July the 7th, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you up to today? How are you doing? How are you doing on this Wednesday? It's Wednesday. Now, today we are going to talk about something of importance. We are going to talk about why you should weather through the storm. Because, ladies and gentlemen, some storms are small, some storms are longer, but you get through the storm, and what happens after it rains, storms, you see a rainbow, you get to the you see the sun, you see the sun, you see the beautiful sky, so the storm sometimes it might be a little longer than what you expect, it might be shorter than what you expect. If you're having a rough patch, if you ever think, oh man, I'm not getting enough views or whatever, if you're going through a small patch, don't worry about it. Keep going, keep plugging, keep creating your content, and figure out, hey, what am I doing that, what can I do to, boost up the views? What can I do to boost up the, the downloads and all that kind of stuff? And it's the same for all of it. It's the same for, let's say you start making, let's say you're making 8,000 a month, for 6 months. And then 1 month you go from making 8,000 to, let's say, 2,000. And the next month you make 3,000. And the next month you make $900. It's a 3-month storm. And you're like, why am I went from 8,000 to this, what, all you do is, grab an umbrella, put it above your head. And, you figure out the problem. You see what's going on. You say, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I'm doing that. What can I do to change? What can I do to improve? And sometimes it's absolutely nothing you can do. It's just, it happens that way sometimes, but evaluate the problem, assess the problem. But the one thing you must not do is stay in the storm, don't think, oh man, that's it, I'm done. It's like, you ever been driving, you ever driven before, and you see rain, and you're like, man, I'm about to drive through this rainstorm. But then on the other side, you see, like, you see a bright sky, you see a beautiful sky, and you're like, all right, if I drive 10 miles, another 20 miles, I'm going to get to the other side, and it's going to be sunny, and it's going to be beautiful, and I'll be dry. That's basically how it is when it comes to this whole, because this is the business, and it's a business that you are creating. So there's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be storms that you weather. But the most important thing is, just don't stop in the storm. It's sort of like, if you ever been through a hailstorm, and the worst thing you can do, like in a hailstorm, if you ever caught on the highway during a hailstorm, best thing you can do, pull over, stop somewhere, just pull over, don't try to drive through it, because it'll tear up your windshield. Okay, so you just pull over, you stop, and it's not even 5 minutes, 10 minutes of hell. It just seems like it's the worst thing, but it goes away quickly. And that's just business. That's gonna happen. You're gonna have, everything's not gonna be a rosy picture. Everything's not gonna be happy joy all the time. It's gonna be a few bumps, but the more you prepare for these bumps, the better off you will be. And the expectation, you want to not anticipate them, but be prepared for them when they do come. So that way you be like, all right, it happened. Let's move on. Let's, because there are there are highs and there are lows in this whole thing. It's just like one week I got a bunch of new listeners and I was like, oh, cool, and it was rocking and rolling, and and I remember like the next week, I was like, oh man, what happened? Where'd everybody go? But I'm not gonna just be like, man, F it. If these people stop listening, I quit. No, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna keep going because you will find your audience and your audience will find you. And that whole, the ups and downs just sort of happen, but it's cool, because the most important thing is you're here. And the most important thing is you are taking action. The most important thing is you want this. That's the most important thing. That's in the first step. Because listen, anything that you do and you really want to do it, you will keep doing it. You won't have this, woe is me mentality. Yeah, we all get down in the mouth sometimes. We all get kind of frustrated and flustered. But the one thing that you and I don't do, we don't quit. We come back. It's like you ever been in a fight? Have you ever been in a fight? I've been in a couple, not a long, long, long time ago. Matter of fact, me and my brother used to fight all the time. Me and my brother used to fight all the time, and I remember my brother used to be, whooping me up pretty good, and then I would be like, man, I can't go out like this, and then I would come charging back, and I remember one time, my brother, he was getting the best of me, and I was like, I just need one shot, and I'm gonna end this quickly, And I remember I kicked him right in the face. My brother, his eyes rolled the back of his head, and he fell out. And I was like, and I was like, and then of course I was like, oh, what happened? And I was slapping my brother, but it just stunned him a little bit. It wasn't too bad, but he left me alone after that. That's sort of like being in business. You're getting punched, you're driving through the storm, and it's just pouring, and it's just boom, 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 and you think, this is never gonna end, and then in a matter of minutes, a matter of seconds, you're driving. It's no more storms, no more rain. It's sunshine, it's rainbows, it's birds, it's a nice day out, and don't even think about you're not gonna go another 200 miles down the road and be like, man, that storm back there and whoop the whoop the whoop, man, them 5 minutes really, you're not gonna hang on to that, And if you are one of these people that hang on to negativity, then I mean, stop it. Go to I don't know what to tell you. Go to therapy, figure that out. But don't hang on to negativity, because it's gonna be more good than bad, And all the bad stuff is not like terrible. It's just lessons, it's just life lessons. It's just things that happen, things happen to all of us. The best of us, have rocky times, rocky days, rocky moments. But the champions, you and I, champs, we go through the rocky times. You look up and you go, how bad can it be? Forget about it. Move on. Push on. I remember when I told you before, I first started driving the truck. I was in the class with these people, and I was one of the worst ones. I was struggling. I was struggling bad, but I was like, the one thing that I got that these other people don't got is I got a thickness in my head, and I'm like, I ain't gonna stop until I figure this out. I ain't gonna stop until I whoop this thing. And that's one. That's one. It's good and it's also bad at the same time. Sometimes I am a little stubborn to fault, but on some things I'm like, nah, I'm not moving. And it's the same as this, you know, if you are doing a YouTube channel, and I've seen so many stories, and people are like, I wasn't getting many views at first, and I just kept going and kept going, and then something started clicking, and then it just took over. It's the same for you. You write. Let's say you write a book. Hey, you write a book. First book you write, Not a lot of people buy the book. What are you gonna do? Not write another book? Nah, you're gonna come back and write another book. Second book, third book, fourth book. Let's say your fourth book takes off. Boom. Fourth book is a bestseller. Everybody loves your book. Oh, this guy, this girl, him, them, she, they're the greatest author in the world. I love them. And you like, you know what you can say? I got 3 more books if you want to buy them. People come back. People will come back and buy the other 3 books, So they didn't sell at first, but they'll sell eventually, That's the same for all this stuff, All of this stuff. It might not work for you today, but come back and you'll see how it works tomorrow, People find you, people discover you. It's like well, this is definitely, I don't know about now. I'm not a big, but like a long time ago, you would have these people. Like I'll give you an example. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was a well, everybody you all know Jim Carrey, but before he used to be in these. He was in a movie called Once Bitten by a Teenage Vampire, something like that. Let me look up the name of this. I'm gonna look up the name of this movie. I saw this movie when I was a kid, and it was cheesy. And I think his name was like James. I think they was calling him James Carrey or something. Twice Bitten about a vampire. I'm gonna find the exact name of this movie so I can give you the proper example. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the proper example. Now, come on, man. Let's get it together right here. Once Bitten. Okay. Once Bitten was a terrible movie. Now it was all right, and it was like 1985, and I remember he wasn't even like talked about in the movie, And then I remember when Ace Ventura blew up after he got off in Living Color, he did Ace Ventura and all this stuff. And then I remember I walked by a movie store and they had Once Bitten, and then in the big letters they was like Jim Carrey, and I was like, Jim Carrey. I'm like, oh, he was in that movie. I watched the movie like 3 times. So I'm like, oh yeah, he was in that movie. But in 1985, nobody knew him. I don't even think his name was on the marquee. Nobody said it was like Lauren Hutton was in the movie. No, it was like Once Bitten, starring Lauren Hutton, and then I think that he might have been like 3rd or 4th name. But after he blew up, they like Once Bitten, starring Jim Carrey and Lauren Hutton. Like. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we know this guy, and that's a whole lot of the whole, that's a lot of the situation about all this content creation. You're gonna create a lot of content, and in the beginning, people are gonna be like, I like them, But let's say a lot of people discover you. You get more and more popular. People are gonna go back and they're gonna be like, I love all your stuff. You're so great. And it's like, why thank you. You don't have to say, don't be one of these people. These people weren't with me when I was, starting. Of course, nobody's gonna be with you when you start. Because it's a journey all to itself. It's you. Because like I told you before, everybody loves you. Your family loves you. People like you, people love you. They don't care what you do. This whole thing is about you. This is about what you want to do. It's not about, oh, my wife wanted me to, my wife wanted me to start this YouTube channel. Did she? I don't think so. My husband wanted me to start a makeup channel. Did he? Probably not. Probably not. So a lot of times, when we want to do this stuff, we want to do this stuff because we want to make a difference. We want to make a change, and it's all right to own that. We talked about it before. It's okay. It's not being selfish. Just you think you have something to give to the world, so give it to the world. People, family, friends, they like you anyway. It's like my wife. My wife, she loves me. Truck driver. She loved me before. I started a podcast. She's gonna like me one of these days after the podcast, So, it's not about, oh, I'm doing this, of course, me, myself, it's a great benefit. Like I'm doing this so that way, me and my wife and the baby, whenever we feel like taking off, we can take off, that's part of the whole entrepreneurship. That's part of me starting an online business. It's a great benefit, but it's not the main reason. I want to spend a lot of time with them. That's reason number one. But also, I want to do something different. That's reason 1A. 1B is spending time with my wife and the baby. A lot more time with them. Reason 1A. Oh, I'm tired of driving trucks. Come on now. Like I want to have a career change. I want to do something different. I want to create a career for myself. I want to create a path for myself. So this is why I'm here. And so you tell yourself that, be honest with yourself. Think, hey, why am I doing this? People like to say start with the why, you're doing it because, why are you doing it? And things are going to happen. Storms are going to happen. Bumps in the road are going to happen. People are not going to listen. People are going to come with you. Some people are going to come with you. Some people ain't going to come with you. Some people are going to support you. Some people, they ain't going to support you. No big deal. It's all part of the bucket. It's all part of the story, and it's okay. It's not don't be one of these people who like, nobody supported me. I did it all on my own. Okay. You did it all on your own. Congratulations, don't make it out to be, you ain't Rambo. You ever seen Rambo? Him going against the whole town, like, relax, man, We all start off kind of, I didn't tell my wife for 2-3 months that I was doing a podcast. I mean, in the beginning, what's she gonna do for me? What's she gonna she can pat me on my back and say good luck, but I had to walk outside myself and tackle this on, But now she's a part of she's definitely on board, She's the co-captain, but in the beginning, if I would have told her I did it for a month and then I stopped, she'd have said, okay. And that'd have been it, but don't just don't think about, oh, one bad thing happens, and I should quit, or things slow you down, circumstances happen, things always happen, and you just get better. You get better for them, tougher the situation, the tougher the skin, it all work out for you. But just remember, don't stop in the storm, keep driving, for heaven's sakes, keep driving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is it for the podcast today. We will be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I am Tony Rosano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.